Google Classroom is a wonderful tool to use with your classroom. With remote learning being at the forefront for most of us right now, we have to find ways to teach kids remotely and sometimes remotely alongside of in person, which can really promote a challenge. However, many were left trying to figure this out on their own or by watching YouTube videos just like this one. This Google Classroom video is going to be a two-part video. In this video, I will be showing how to set up your classroom, its settings, how to enroll students and teachers, and adjust how your class looks. The second video, I'll take a look at setting up the material and using the features found in your Google Classroom. Before we jump in, please take a moment and help support my channel by hitting that subscribe button right down there below. It will help keep you up to date with any new videos I release along with supporting my channel. Otherwise, let's jump in. There are two ways to access your Google Classroom. So once you open up your web browser, you can either go to classroom.google.com. The other way is if you go to any of your Google services, even just Google's homepage at google.com, go to your email, go to your Google Drive. You're going to see in the top right-hand corner an icon that we call the waffle iron icon. If you click on that, you'll see all the different Google services that you have access to, and it's just a quick way to hop around to the different things. And you can even click and drag them around within that. So let's say you use Google Classroom all the time. You can just click and drag it further up the list so it sits towards the top for you. So you can either go to classroom.google.com or click on that waffle iron icon in the top right and just click on Classroom. Once you do that, it will take you to your main display page like you see up here on the screen. Right now, I have my 3 classes showing. If it's your first time here, most likely you won't see any classes showing here. So to add a class, you'll click on the plus button on the top right of your page. And you're going to have 2 options here. You're going to have Join Class and Create Class. If you don't see Create Class, email your Google administrator and they can make sure your permissions are set up properly. It is very easy, speaking as an administrator, for this to forget somebody. So it's really quick and easy to add that person, and it happens instantaneously. So if you don't see Create Class, just send your Google administrator a quick email and they can get you added in. But I'm going to click on Create Class. Then what you're going to put in, you have to put in a class name. So I'm going to put in Test Class 101. If you have multiple sections, you could put in your section number. So if it's like section 2, you could put in the subject if you want. So I could say music and put in music theory. And you could even put a room number. So my music room at the high school is in room 14. These bottom 3 are just optional. The one that's required, as it states, is the class name. So you can ignore the other ones if you want, completely up to you. But once you're all set, hit Create, and it will create your class. Once your class is created, it will take you to your splash screen. So here you can see upcoming assignments, you can see my stream, you've got the name of the class, the section number, the class code. You can generate meet links right from here. You can select a theme, upload a photo. All the different things that you can do to manage your class. So the first thing you want to go look at is your settings for your class. And you'll see in the top right-hand corner, there's going to be a cogwheel. And if you click on that, it will take you to the settings for your class. So at the top here, you're going to see all those settings underneath class details that you entered in when you created the class. So if you did something by mistake, or in here, they give you a chance to add a class description. But if you need to change any of those things, or you want to add a class description, you can put that in here and resave. Under General, you'll have a few different things here. You can manage invite codes. So an invite code is how somebody joins the class. So you can have it turned on, and if I click on it, I can turn it off, or I can reset that class code. It will show me a link that I can share out and send an email to others. And you'll see right next to it, there's like that little copy invitation link icon. If you click on that, it'll actually copy it, and then you can go into your email and you can paste it. It will actually give you the class code. And if you want your students to enroll right in class, what they can do is they can go to classroom.google.com, and in that top right-hand corner where they click the plus button, like you saw Join Class, Create Class, they click on Join Class, and then you can click on Display Class Code, and they just enter that in when they click Join Class. It's going to ask for the code. Once they put that code in, it will enroll them in the class. That is one way to get students in. In just a few, I'll be showing you another way that you can do it. Completely up to you. Both of them work. The manage invite codes, if you're going to just manually list everybody, you could turn that off if you want. I usually leave it on because it's handy to have both just in case. On the home page of your class, there's what's called the stream. Kind of think of it like a Facebook wall. You can post comments, you can post reminders. Any new assignments that are posted will show up there. So it's kind of a master list of everything going on. You can create discussions there. By default, students can post and comment, but if I click on this little drop-down arrow, I can have it where students can only comment. So you as the teacher is the only person that can actually make a post, and then students comment to that. You can have it where only teachers in your class can post or comment and students can only see it. Completely up to you, depends on the type of class you're running and the things you're doing, depends on how you want that to show. Classwork on the stream, you can set up how it actually shows in that stream. So you can have it show all the information and details. You can have it kind of do a condensed, smaller notification, or it doesn't show anything on the stream at all. You can have it show deleted items. So if you delete something from the wall, you can have it still show for you so you can see it, or once you delete it, it's gone. You can set it up. Students can have their parents also join in the class. I've found it's a little hit or miss. It gives the parents just a little bit of details, but doesn't give them too much. But you can either have those summaries on where it'll send them an email with kind of a summary of what's going on in class. You can have a Google Class Meet automatically generated. So anytime you want to start a meeting, you just click that link and it starts the meeting. You can have that be visible to students. You can also do grading within here. So you can set that it's a total points, it's weighted by category or no overall grade. You can have it show those to students and you can create grading categories. Completely up to you on how you want to set up, especially for grading. For me, I just do the grading. Our student information system doesn't really have much integration yet for Google Classroom, but if yours does, when you grade in Google Classroom, if it's set up properly, it'll import it right into your student information system, which is really handy. So it just depends how your school's set up if you want to enable that and how you want to do it. Usually I'll just do the grading in Classroom and then I'll just manually go into our student information system and just manually enter in the grade. For me, that's just as easy. But again, the options are there for you to work as you want. If you make any changes in here, you'll click on the save in the top right-hand corner. If you don't, you can click on the left top-hand corner and close out of that. And it'll take you right back to your main page. So as I mentioned in the header, you'll see your class code and there's a little box next to it. So if I actually click on that little box, I can have it display the code. So you don't have to go into your settings and then do that. You can do it right from your main screen. Just a really quick way to do that. You can have it generate a Meet link for Google Meet. And all you do is you click on that. We're going to say generate Meet link. It's generated. I hit save. Now, anytime we want to do a Google Meet, students can actually come right in, click on that. It'll take them right into it. A lot of schools sometimes use Zoom. Our district uses Zoom a bit also. The other way you can do it is just post a Zoom link within your stream. And this is your stream right here. The next video, I'm going to show some more details on the actual stream. So there are ways to handle it both ways, depending on which one you choose. Over on the top left, you'll see the 3 lines. It's also known as the hamburger menu. If you click on that, it's going to allow you to jump around really quickly from class to class, but you'll also see a settings option. This is the overall settings for all the classes you teach. You can turn on email notifications. This is one you want to be careful with. If you think of your students, they're going to receive an email for every single thing that you do. So if you post a new comment, post a new assignment, or make any changes, it's going to send them an email of that. And if you think if the students have 5 to 8 classes and there's multiple changes that are done each day, they could be receiving up to 30 or 40 emails a day on this. So I would be very, very careful in what you enable, but you can also disable certain pieces. So you can have no notification when there's a comment made or when they mention or private. You can customize these notifications. Or you can just completely disable notifications by class and just tell your kids just once a day or twice a day, just go check my class. Again, up to you on how you want to do that. You can also change your profile picture from here too. So I'm going to click on the hamburger menu and I'm going to jump back to my test class. The next thing you can do is you can select a theme. You can customize just a little bit how your classroom looks. So let's say I'm doing a tech-related class. You'll see one right here. I can click on it, and I can select it as class theme. And now the whole thing's going to change. You'll notice some of the colors of the headings and the links change to blue. Let's say I don't like that one. Say I want to go to something under, they've got all sorts of categories here. Let's say I want to do something more with music. I could click on the music one, hit select class theme, and it will swap over. And again, you'll see the colors kind of change a bit. So it gives you a little bit of flexibility in customizing the look a little bit. You can also upload your own photo that will show in this top header. So let me click on upload photo. I'm going to select the photo from my computer. So I've found the photo that I wanted to show, and it's just a picture from where we have our band concerts. So I'm going to click on the photo and select choose for upload. It's going to upload the photo. And now that it's done, you'll see I've got these white boxes in the four corners. I can use that to resize. So I don't care to get a lot of that side stuff in, but I want to make sure I get to the top of those speakers. So I kind of like that setup right there. So you can move that around. I can move the box to be anywhere I want. I can adjust the width and the height, but it will keep the proportion the same. And when I'm all set, I'm going to click on select class theme, and it's going to change that header photo to be the photo I chose. What you noticed is it darkened the photo a little bit so that white text will pop out a little bit more. So that's a great way just to customize that photo. And you can create your own photo. You can download photos from the internet, use anything you want. So you can get really creative with that. I know some people have a lot of fun with that. The next step is now we need to be able to add students and teachers to my class. So across the top, you're going to see your navigation menu. The first one says Stream, then you'll see Classwork, People, and Grades. So to manage the people in our class, you want to click on People. From here, if you have any co-teachers or teacher aides or any other teachers that help out, maybe you have a long-term sub, you can add them in. And all you have to do to add them in is to the right of teachers, click on that little plus button with a person next to it. You type in their information. So I'll put in my wife, for example. Select her, click invite, and it will invite her and she will receive an email. She can click approve and she'll be listed there as a teacher. To invite students, you go through the same process. Now, the one word of warning is if you're doing this in a really big hurry, make sure you don't click add for teachers and then add all your students as teachers. I say it from experience. So make sure you come down to students and then click the plus button. So I have a test student account I use all the time. So I'm going to add my test account that I have. And I'm going to send out an invite link. So what it's going to do is it's going to send that student an email. They click on approve in that email, and then they're then added to the class. And you'll see right now that William is grayed out and it says they are invited. Once they go into their email and hit approve, it's going to show them listed there. So that's how you add students. So students have two ways to be added. You can come in to people and add the students manually, or you can use the invite code and you can email it out to them. Or in class, you can have them go to Google Classroom. So for example, I'm going to go back to my main screen. And I'm going to click on the plus button. But instead, I'm going to click Join Class. And you're going to see it's going to pop up with a class code. All they do is enter that class code that you're projecting, and it will put them right into your class. So that's the two ways that you can add students. Now, what I do want to show you is once you have students in your class, what you can do. So I'm going to go into my media production class, and I'm going to go to People. I am actually going to blur out my students' names and emails so you don't see those. But what you're going to see is on the left side, you're going to see a tick box. So let's say I have a student that left my class. I can click on that student's checkbox next to their name and say I have two students. And then if I come up to actions and click on it, it'll allow me to send them an email. I can remove them or I can mute them, which means they're not going to be able to participate with the class for a little while. So if you want to delete them, you just hit remove. The other thing you can do is if you come on the right-hand side, you're going to see these three little dots. If you click on those, it'll allow you to email the student. So it's just a quick way if you need to send them an email. Use the tick boxes if you need to remove them. It'll show you how many students you have in your class. If the students have guardians attached to them, you can also email the guardians. And if you want to invite a guardian, you click on Invite Guardian. You put in the student's parent's email address and you can send them an invite to be invited into the class. Again, some parents are really good about it. Some want to be in there. The other thing I always tell parents sometimes, and oftentimes it's much easier, just get your students login and just log in and you can see everything that they see. The parent access here doesn't quite give you as much, but you can still get a lot of stuff. It's still very useful to have. The guardian login method is definitely the easier way, but we've had a few situations where it's been tough getting a parent set up as a guardian for some reason. So in those cases, what I've said is just get your students login and password and you can get in and see all their stuff. And those are the basic features for getting your Google Classroom all set up and running. I hope you found this first video on Google Classroom helpful. As always, if you need some help or not sure about something, please leave a comment down below. I take the time to respond to every question, and sometimes those questions can help inspire me for future videos. If you haven't started in on Google Classroom, I would strongly suggest looking at it if your school district is already in the Google ecosystem. It will make your life much easier. Stay tuned for my second Google Classroom video, which you can do by hitting that subscribe button below. While you're down there already, please also hit that like button. Until next time, this is Adam on Tech, signing off.